timing. One of the most essential elements when it comes to playing music, especially when you're in an ensemble. In a symphonic orchestra, we have a maestro, and his job is to keep the symphony in time. And not only keep them in time, but also cue in other musicians as to when they are to enter into the piece. If a player chooses not to follow the maestro, he risks throwing off the entire ensemble. If he comes a little too early, or maybe even comes in a little too late, the entire piece that is being performed is in jeopardy. However, if the musician watches closely, pays attention, and watches the maestro, he or she will know when to come in and when to stop playing. They will know the proper tempo, and together they will create harmony. They will create a nice flow throughout the piece, uninterrupted, and it's also not choppy, but it just flows freely. Our Christian life is much like playing in a symphonic orchestra. We do not have necessarily a human maestro. God is our maestro. And through prayer and reading His Word and focusing on God and paying attention, we will know God's timing. We will know when to act and when not to act. We will know what decisions we need to make and what decisions that maybe need to even put on hold. This morning's reading comes from Ecclesiastes chapter 3. And I would encourage you to read this chapter in its entirety, but I want to be focusing on some highlights of this chapter. Verse 1, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. You may be very familiar with this verse, but it still holds very true today. I also like verse 11. He hath made everything beautiful in his time. Also, he has set the world in their heart, so that man can find out the work that God maketh from the beginning to the end. And I also like verse 17. I said in my heart, God shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time, there is for every purpose and for every work. You see, God, being our maestro, has the score of the Christian church. He can step back and look at all the parts that are to be played and when they're supposed to come in. And God knows when to cue you in and tell you when it's time for you to act. He can tell you how many beats per minute you're supposed to play. He can tell you when it's time to rest, because he's the maestro. He knows everything that's going on. So it's our duty to trust in his timing and understand that he is in control. I want to finish with Lamentations, chapter 3, verse 25 through 26. The Lord is good unto them that wait for him, to the soul that seeketh him. It is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of the Lord. Let's submit to God's timing for our lives. Let's be patient, pray, and encourage one another. And I guarantee you, when we focus on God and go by his leadership, then together as a church, we can flow in harmony. Have a great day.